Hey everyone, welcome to another class in our series on yoga for resilience. Today we are looking at twists. It's an asana day, physical postures day, and the kind of method behind today's thing is that a lot of us carry a lot of stress around with us, and in modern life a lot of us spend a lot of time sitting over a desk or doing something, maybe driving, and our lower back tends to be unhappy if we're hunched over something. And a twist is a really good way to stretch it out and make it feel better, and hopefully give us some of that self-care that we need. So take a moment just to let the outside wash away and bring some focus into this class. And we're going to start in a seated posture today. So however you want to sit, I'm going to sit like this. We are going to sit on our heels later. So however you want to sit is fine. And then when you're ready, just find a nice tall spine, sitting up nice and straight. And just taking a few easy breaths here. And when you're ready, bring your hands down to your side, and we're going to go back to the seated twist that we did in our very first class in this Yoga for Resilience series. And we're going to inhale and bring our arms up above us. And then as we exhale, we're going to twist around to our right. I am not mirroring you this time, so it might look a little bit different, but your right arm is going to come behind you. Your left arm is going to come to your knee, and your gaze can go over your right shoulder. We're going to do all of these on both sides, so it doesn't actually matter which side you go, but traditionally in yoga we go to the right side first. Again, if this is uncomfortable, just alter the angle of the twist. So wherever, if your hand ends up on your shin or your ankle and your other arm isn't behind you, don't worry about it. If it's too much stress on the neck, you can always look forward. Find what works for your body. You should feel a nice stretch in the lower back. Inhaling to grow taller. Exhaling to melt down into the twist. And gently let yourself rotate back to center. And we're going to take that on the other side. So again, we're going to inhale to bring the arms up and exhale to bring them down. So our left arm this time comes behind us. Our right arm comes over to the left knee, and we take our gaze over our left shoulder. Nice easy breaths here. Again, inhaling to maybe grow a bit taller. Exhaling to melt further down into the twist. Again, you can alter the twist to whatever feels comfortable to you. So play around with that left arm behind you, Move the right arm to wherever you want to be, on your shin, on your ankle, on your knee. Tuning into what's comfortable for your body. And allow yourself to gently unravel again, coming back to center. And from here, we're going to do some cat-cows, but we're going to do them seated this time. So you can bring your hands down here, you can bring them to your knees, whatever works for you. But just like we're doing when we're in tabletop on all fours, as we inhale, we're going to raise the gaze and arch the back. And as we exhale, we're going to tuck our chin and we're going to round our spine. Inhaling to come up, again just as we did when we were in tabletop, but we're seated now. And then exhaling to tuck our chin and round our spine. Let's move through some of these in our own breath. Inhaling to come up. Lift the gaze, arch our back. Exhaling to fold down, tucking our chin and rounding our spine. Make this your last one. And bring your gaze up, back to neutral. From here, we're going to go into a standing posture. So if you are sitting on any props, you can just move that out of the way. And we're going to come up we're coming into triangle pose here. And we usually come through that through warrior 2. But what we want is our front foot is going to face forward and our back foot is at kind of 90 degrees. And if we imagine our kind of front foot cutting backwards, it should come into the arch so our feet are aligned. So if that imaginary line came through from our front foot, we'd go into the arch of our back foot. And for triangle pose, both of our legs are straight. So if we were doing warrior 2, we'd have a bend in that front knee. But for triangle, our feet are here. And then our arms come out in front of us in a T shape. And then we float forward and we bend down so that our arms are at 90 degrees. You can bring the gaze up to the top hand if we wish. Now, this can be quite tricky, so how might we want to adjust that? Well, the first thing we could do here is just grab a chair, right? If you're struggling with any kind of balance, then you can just have the chair there. In fact, I will grab a chair and make sure we've got some options here. So if you're happy to stand, but you're a bit struggling with the balance, then literally just finding that space, having that chair maybe to hold on to the bottom. You can still make that kind of shape that's stretching out the side and the lower back for you. The other thing is, if standing just isn't an option for you, you can also do a pretty similar thing, just actually sat down on the chair. So again, trying to make that leg shape. If you can sit right on the edge, get your legs out. It's pretty difficult, but you can still hopefully get that shape of bending over the front leg. It's a bit more of a warrior, half triangle, half warrior 2 at this point. But if you do need that support from the chair, then do take it. So if you're with me in triangle, we're going to gently bring ourselves up now. And we're going to swap that round to the other side. So you can just rotate round. I'm going to do it just by flipping myself so I can still face you and show you what I'm doing. So again, this time our left leg is forward and it's running into our back foot, which is at 90 degrees. Both legs are straight. I'm going to bring our arms out into a T. I'm going to float forward across that front leg, and we can come down into our triangle pose. This one can be quite intense, so we won't hold it for too long. Just remember to breathe. Keep a nice steady breath. It's very easy when things get hard to stop breathing, as we kind of brace ourselves or tense ourselves. So just remembering breathing in and breathing out. Taking that option to sit down or to have something for balance if you need it. And then bring yourself back up. Gently walk the feet in together. And we're going to come back down to the mat here. So we're coming into Sphinx pose, another one that's popped up in quite a few of these classes, I think. Really nice one for the lower back. So we're going to come all the way down onto our bellies, laying our hands out with a 90-degree bend at our elbows. Now again, if this isn't working for you, there's a couple of options as we've done before. So you could come up, you could bring yourself up more into a tabletop shape. You could do camel, so this is where you come up to here. You could also do child's pose, so again, sending the knees out, the arms ahead of us, and use props to prop under here if you need. And if you are down here in Sphinx pose with me, and you need to put some padding under your legs, ankles, hips, anywhere, then do take the time to go and grab those props, grab those cushions, grab those blankets, do whatever you need to do. With each exhale, will your hips melt any further down into the mat? Move your hands in a little and bring yourself out of this. We're going to come over to lie on our backs now. I'm going to come down into a recline twist. So again, this is a pose that we've already used in the Yoga for Resilience series. And if you do want any blankets, any cushions here to prop under your head, to prop under your knees, grab them now. In fact, I will always like to make sure they get a quick demonstration, so I'll grab a pillow for this one, and you're going to bring yourself down onto your back and bring your shins together and parallel to the ceiling, and then you're just going to let them flop over to the right side. So here you might want a pillow under your knees, you might want it between the knees if you're holding them, struggling to hold them together. You might want it under your head to make that a bit more comfortable. I'm going to try under the knees today to give it a bit of support. This is especially good if you're struggling to keep your shoulders on the floor. You can just take it off and prop under this shoulder if you want, but if you can get both of your shoulders on the floor, maybe by propping under the knees, that's quite good. Should again, feeling a gentle stretch in the lower back. Hands can come down to the floor or they can come to the belly, whatever works for you. Or I really like to take them out into cactus. It's probably my favourite choice for this position. But find somewhere that's comfortable for you. Again, we're going to take this on both sides, so it doesn't actually matter what side you start on. Now bring yourself back to the centre, so shins come up parallel with the ceiling again. If you've got any props, then move them to the opposite side if you're using them for your legs. And then again, just going to allow the legs to fall down on top of each other. Finding that gentle stretch in our lower back. Hands can be in cactus, can be on your belly, can be on the ground next to your hips, whatever works for you here. As we've done before, maybe just notice if there are differences in flexibility on this side. Does it feel easier? Does it feel harder? Do you need to wiggle a certain different way? you need to adjust the props at all. Finding that space that's comfortable for you. Again, bring yourself back to center, let the feet fall down to the ground. We're going to roll over onto our front. We're going to come into our final pose for this class, which is prone corpse. So it's corpse pose, but we're lying on our front. And again, this is a great time to add blankets if it's a bit cold. You can have your hands down by your side, but I really like to use them as a little bit of a pillow here. It can also feel good to bring like a blanket or a pillow or something and stick it underneath the ankles. Just have a wiggle around, find out what. Again, where does your body want you to be here? So again, you might want to put a pillow under your head and bring your arms down by your side. I'm going to use my arms like a bit of a pillow here. Done quite a lot of work on the lower back today, so this can feel like a really nice release for it. And when you've found your position here that you're happy with, just start by at the top of the body, releasing any tension that you're holding through the head, through the cheeks, through the face, melting the neck and the shoulders down to the mat. Releasing any tension in the chest and in the belly. Using those inhales to melt the hips down further. Releasing any tension in the hands, the arms, the legs and the feet. And just coming to a moment of stillness here. Can we use our exhales to further surrender any tension as our body melts down into the mat? Now bringing some life back into the body, wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes a little bit. Take that movement into your legs, maybe into the hips, have a roll around. And then gently using your arms, bring yourself up into a seated position. Nice and slowly. Bringing your hands to heart center and dropping the chin. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class.